Lucid Trading and Tradeify are two of the biggest names in the prop firm space. And with Tradeify 3.0 now out, which prop firm is actually best for traders? Today's video, we're going to do a complete breakdown comparing Lucid Trading's Flex account versus Tradeify's Select plan. Now, just to be fair, I do have accounts with both of these firms. And just this week, I passed my Tradeify Select accounts, and then I was brought to this window right here, giving me the choice to select, do I want daily payouts or do I want a 5-day payout structure? And if you stay tuned to the end, I'm gonna share with you guys the reasons behind why I picked the payout method that I did. So now let's go ahead and start off with Lucid Trading's Flex account, which a lot of traders love, and they are very reasonably priced. Now, one of the things Lucid done early on, and now other prop firms are playing catch up, is notice when you buy a Lucid account, one of the things that I really liked about this firm was notice not only do we have a reasonable price for an evaluation, but right there we have a one-time payment. So if it takes us 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, or even a year to pass this evaluation, we have only been out of pocket for the 50K account, $98. And right now you get any evaluation 40% off if you use code Mike. Link will be in the description box down below. So that was one of the things I really liked about Lucid. However, when we come over and we start looking at Tradeify, and more specifically the Tradeify 50K accounts, and we take a look at the new 3.0 program, notice what Tradeify did as well. Right here, pricing update, no more subscription, meaning just like Lucid, we only pay a one-time fee, and I love this feature. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you guys also love not being rebilled every single month that you still have an active evaluation? So now going back over to Lucid, we said $98 was a decent price. Well, is it really? Because as we come over and we look at Tradeify, we can see that using code Mike, you can get it for $99. And if you guys ever want to go over and compare prop firms, which I would highly encourage, come right over here to propfirmmike.com and let's look at the 50K account, because you guys are going to see an error here in just a moment. We're going to 50K account. We're going to go ahead and select the EOD drawdown type. And then from there, it populates all the different accounts. Now, what I want to do from here is double click on true cost, because that is going to show us the activation fee plus what we paid for the evaluation. Well, if we look at the Lucid Flex account, right now it is the cheapest account. Notice right here, it's only $84. But Mike, you got to be wrong, because it says $98 on their website. However, as you can see right here from this example, if you entered code Mike, you can see it takes off 40%, which brings the total down to $84. So again, another reason when you compare prop firms, you want to go over to propfirmmike.com. Now let's just go ahead and see real quick, how does Tradeify actually stack up with this? Well, the Tradeify growth account would be the second cheapest account in the 50K account. However, we're not comparing that account. We're looking at Tradeify 3.0 and more specifically the Select account. Well, in this case, the Select account would be $99 versus $84. So Lucid Trading does have a notch up in this example, but both of these accounts are very, very good accounts. And you can always select, if you see an account that you think you might want to trade with, this case, Lucid Trading, go ahead and select Lucid, scroll down, and you can learn all about the evaluation rules, the hard breach rules, and the funded rules in one simple location. So again, if you guys want to check out the website, propfirmmike.com. Now, one thing that I did not see until I came back and edited this video is I want you guys to pay attention as we're comparing these two accounts. Notice the profit target. With Tradeify, we only have to make $2,500 to pass with a $2,000 drawdown. Lucid, we have to make $3,000 with a $2,000 drawdown. So comparing this, Tradeify might actually be the easier account to actually pass. So now let's go ahead and compare how long will it actually take us to pass the evaluation. Well, if we look right here under Lucid's 50K Flex account, we can see there's a 50% consistency rule, which means the quickest we're able to pass this evaluation would be 2 days. So now when we come over and look at Tradeify's Select account, how long would it actually take? Well, Tradeify with their Select accounts actually has a 40% consistency rule. So the quickest to be able to pass this account would actually be 3 days. So between Lucid and Tradeify, if you're looking for a quick pass, well, Lucid Trading has a slight edge. See, one thing I do want to remind you guys about is when you look at Lucid Trading, once we are actually funded, there's going to be no consistency rule. We come over and look at Tradeify. Once we are funded, there is also no consistency rule. So in this category, both Lucid and Tradeify tie, and traders that like to have big days out there, this could be a feature that benefits those of you looking for big home run trades. Now we come over and look at the profit target versus the drawdown. Well, in Lucid Trading, we get a $3,000 profit target. Our EOD drawdown is going to be $2,000. We come over and we look at Tradeify real quick. We can see right here, profit target $3,000. Trailing EOD drawdown is going to be $2,000. So once again, both of these accounts will tie when we're actually using that metric. So now let's go to Lucid Trading's knowledge base. And right here, I want to click on the Lucid Flex account. And I want to go right here to where it says Lucid Flex evaluation. And I want to bring something to your attention that Lucid basically pioneered out there. I didn't see any other prop firms doing this. But if you look right down here, once we went ahead and we've passed the evaluation, notice not only do we have a one-time payment, but what about right below that? Real-time activation, upgrade the funded accounts within 5 to 30 minutes of hitting the profit target. So what does this mean? Well, let's say we hit our profit target at 10 a.m. We're going to be trading our SIM funded account by 10:30, working on trying to get some of those payouts. When we actually look at Tradeify 3.0, notice what they actually did. Right there in number 3, they also have instant funded activation, which is something I got a chance to experience earlier this week. And something else that Tradeify has one up on, in my personal opinion, against Lucid is also going to be the real-time dashboard with their journal. And I got to be honest with you, their journaling is absolutely amazing. So now let's take a look at one of the biggest factors for traders, and that's going to be payout. So when we come back over at Lucid real quick, we go to Lucid Flex payouts. Let's take a look at how this actually works. And keep in mind, we're going to be looking at the example for a $50,000 account size. Well, with Lucid, the trader gets to keep 90% of the profits. Lucid gets to keep 10%. Payout eligibility. Well, traders must earn a minimum required profit on 5 separate trading days during the payout cycle. The minimum profit on trading days resets and must be earned again every approved payout. So since we're talking about the $50,000 account size, we can see that the minimum daily profit is going to be $150. So even if it takes us 10, 20, 30 different trading days, at least 5 of those days, we have to make at least $150. Now, we can make more. Keep in mind, there is no consistency rule in this account. Also, something you have to mention, in order to request a payout, we must have a positive net profit. You cannot withdraw if you've had 5 winning days over $150, but your account is actually in drawdown. Now let's look at the payout thresholds. Well, the minimum we can take out is going to be $500. We cannot take out anything below that. Now the maximum payout request, future traders may request 50% of their account balance up to a maximum dollar amount. The maximum dollar amount depends on the account size. Again, we come right down here to the $50,000 account size, and we can see 50% of our profit up to $2,000. So our max payout with Lucid Trading in the 50K account will be $2,000. So how does Lucid's payout actually stack up against Tradeify's, especially since one of the select accounts, we can actually choose a daily payout. So now let's go ahead and take a look at Tradeify's payout policy. And keep in mind, with the select account, we have 2 choices. Do we want a 5-day payout policy, the flex payout, or do we want daily payouts? And let's go ahead and compare both of these payouts to Lucid's payouts. Now we scroll down here real quick. And one of the things that really sticks out with the 5-day payout policy, there's going to be 0 daily loss limit and 0 consistency rule, which Lucid Trading's flex account also has 0 consistency. Now, when we scroll down here real quick, let's take a look at some of the benefits. We get to keep 90% and Tradeify will get to keep 10% of the profits. We can get a payout as quick as every 5 trading days, assuming that we're actually making money. Now, in the 50K account, we have to have 5 trading days where at least 5 days we've made $150 or more. If you've only made $100 and you traded even 20 days, well, guess what? You are not going to be eligible for the payout. Now, with a 50K payout, let's see how much we can actually take out. We can take out 50% of our total profits, capped at $3,000. So the maximum we can get out every 5 days will be $3,000. Now, if you notice right here, there's no minimum balance requirement, with this account. So we don't have to build above a buffer before able to go ahead and request our payout, which all that is very similar to Lucid Trading. Now, we come over and look at the daily payout structure, which means we can take a payout every single day, assuming we've made money in the market. The trader gets to keep 90%. The firm, Tradeify, gets to keep 10% of the profits. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the payout caps. In the 50K account, we are going to be capped at $1,000 per day. But is that really less than the 5-day payout policy? And the answer is no. We actually debated this on one of the live streams. And because we can get a payout every single day within a 5-day period, the trader has the potential to get $5,000 within that 5-day payout cycle. Now, there is a minimum payout, and that's going to be $250. We cannot request a payout below that threshold. Something we have to consider with the daily payout policy, which the 5-day payout policy does not have, we have what's called a buffer amount. Now, with a 50K account, the buffer is going to be $2,100. How they come up with that number? Well, with a 50K account, we have a $2,000 drawdown and then add $100 to it. So we can only request once our account has over $2,100 of profit. We'd actually have to have at least $2,350 of profit to be able to request the minimum payout amount, which we already talked about was $250. However, when we look right here, something we want to consider, and this is something we debated during one of the live streams, I did a poll, so I want your guys' opinion as well. Let me know which payout policy you guys would choose in the comment section down below. Would you choose the daily payout policy or would you choose the 5-day payout policy? Because if you look right here, there's two different things that you really want to consider. One, the daily payout policy would have a daily loss limit and the 5-day payout policy would not. In this example too, if you look at the drawdowns would be the same. But let me show you guys real quick. In the 150K account size that I actually have, one thing you want to know, keep in mind, and this is going to depend on which account that you have, but you also want to pay attention to the trailing drawdown max. With the 150K account, I would only have, with the daily payout policy, $3,500 of drawdown, where with the 5-day payout policy, I'd have $4,500. Now, the drawdown is what's going to keep us traders the ability to continue to trade. If we have zero drawdown, the account is going to be busted. So I personally chose the 5-day payout policy simply because it has no daily loss limit and I have more drawdown in the account. More drawdown, in my personal opinion, gives me a better chance of success. And my goal is to keep the accounts for as long as possible. Now, an added benefit to trading with either Lucid or Tradeify, they both have what's called Ninja Trader Prop, where we can get order flow tools such as volume profile, trade detector, or even the heat map, along with footprint charts. And if you want to learn how to get Ninja Trader Prop for free so you can get access to these order flow tools, then you want to make sure to watch this next video right here.